We have a second clip from CBS. Same guy, Jose Rodriguez, the guy who destroyed the torture tapes, the evidence that was going to be judged as to whether or not it was legal, the guy who has since been promoted, the guy who was in charge of the torture regime, guy who's been promoted. Here he is on talking about the two guys who had no expertise at interrogation whatsoever, but only knew how to teach people to withstand torture. And they figured, hey, if we taught people how to withstand torture, maybe we can teach people how to torture so that it can't be withstood.
Mr. Rodriguez, one of the most stunning things, I think, in this report is who conducted some of these enhanced interrogation techniques or torture. One of the things that was disclosed is that the agency hired two psychologists who had no real interrogation experience, had no counterterrorism experience, no experience with al-Qaeda, and that they were paid $81 million to craft this program. Was that necessary?
Pause it. You know, when you have that kind of setup on a question and you finish it off where the question is that necessary? I think the point's been missed a little bit. Is that wise? Might be a good one. Or isn't that psychotic? Would also be a good way to button that question. But instead, is that necessary? Did it really have to cost $81 million to get those psychopaths in there? Couldn't you have just offered them maybe a videotape of it as a souvenir?
You know what? This is really an incredible charge because the bottom line with the program that they helped us put together was that it was extremely successful. The charge that these people had never done any interrogation is not true. These people were experts on the Seder program, which is a military training program that trains our people how to withstand interrogation tactics. They had knowledge and background on Islamic extremists. It was an innovative way, out-of-the-box way to get intelligence from high-level al-Qaeda figures that we knew had information.
Let me just read.
In terms of the $80 million, in terms of the $80 million, I really don't know how much money was spent, but if it saved one American life, it was worth it.
All right, let's start from the end here. $81 million? If we spent $81 million on torturing people and it saved one American life, then it was worth it. Well, that's just absurd. I mean, the sad reality is we won't spend $81 million to feed hundreds of thousands of Syrians who are without food from the Syrian civil war. The idea that we would spend $80 million to protect any American life is a joke. It's an absolute joke. But put aside the money, because the money has to be there to validate these psychopaths. And even if you go back and listen to what he was saying there, it's ridiculous. They're experts. And then he goes on to say exactly what I said in leading up to this clip. They were experts at teaching people how to withstand torture. That's it. They weren't experts at interrogation. They weren't intelligence experts. The only thing that they were trained in and expert in is teaching people how to withstand torture. And all they did is figured, if I can teach people to withstand torture, maybe I can teach people to torture in a way that it can't be withstood. Unbelievable.
I like how he started talking about it as if he was selling a tech startup. Now, these guys were very innovative.
It was very innovative. We came up with an idea. We came up with an idea that's only been around since the darkest of the dark ages. We've come up with an idea. In fact, torture has been, we were like the Uber for torture.
We disrupted the torture industry.